Hello and welcome once again to the FwdCompatible podcast. This is episode 80, part 2.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Part 2.5.
Yeah. For August 18th, 2013, my name's Tony. I'm joined, as always, by my fellow podcasters, Mark and Jason. I got this shit.
Yeah.
How you gentlemen doing?
Yeah. Good as it was like a half hour ago.
Just as good?
Just as good.
Rock on. This, of course, is part 2. In the event you have yet to do so, please pause the video or come back later. Ooh, that's cheap. Whichever be the case,
That's a low price.
He distracted me. And check out part 1 where we do cover this week's news as well as answer the listeners' burning questions for the week. But as I said earlier, this is part 2 where we cover Tony's topic of the week.
I thought of a way to test that before going out and getting. I know people have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
We can fill them in and talk about this on here.
We're talking about multiple mic setup. This is a stereo mic.
Okay.
Yours is a stereo mic.
Mine doesn't work well because it's a condenser mic, though. That's why it doesn't play well with another microphone. We'll fill everybody in. That's fine. You guys can know what's going on with the show.
No,
we're looking at upgrades. Our 3 choices right now are because this mic works really well, but we're worried about when we have like 5 or more people on or whatever.
and sometimes I sound a little far away,
Yeah.
even though I talk towards the mic. It just, I guess, my angle.
So this company, which is Blue, makes these really cool like these boom mics that you could drop these down. You don't have to have them sitting like this. And we're thinking one thing is to get a second one, but we don't know how well the microphones are going to play with each other. We don't want to have them picking up interference and whatnot. And if we dropped one here and one here, it'd be able to pick up everybody, we think, nicely. Another one is to go back to our first setup for our longtime listeners, where we actually had 4 individual microphones with 4 shock mounts and 4 wires plugged into a mixing board, and then we tossed it on. And the other option would be lapel mics, like you see news anchors and stuff do, where all you'd see is a little clip right here on everybody's shirts, and you get a transmitter for the
That's where my vote goes, because I'm
computer.
going to start wearing some vests.
Unfortunately, that is by far the most expensive option, but it's also set up to not pick each other up, and you can have, I think, limitless amounts of lapel mics hooked
so
up.
many people in here.
Just 87-person podcast.
Everyone's just sitting there with no shirts on because it's too damn hot.
Because this worked really well when we were all sitting around each other, but now
nipples.
that we switched to video, we're sitting this way more, and the mic's not
sitting
picking
different.
Yeah, it's not picking everybody up perfectly, so we're looking for alternatives. So that's what he showed me. He showed me the mic, and I was like, "Oh, that's cheap." So now you guys are all caught up. Them bitches be on sale, but we don't know if they're gonna pick each other up. So
They probably will.
And I'm gonna blame Mark.
I guarantee you they will pick each other up.
It's all Mark's fault.
Yeah, but I don't know if it would be necessary since we're running on a single track.
What would happen is literally there'd be an audio delay from each one, and you get a double echo. I almost guarantee it. Comes with a Mark 30-day money-back guarantee.
Do they?
Huh?
Do they come with money back guarantees?
I was talking about my own
Take that
personal
shit back to Best
guarantee,
Buy.
but
Take it back, Best Buy, bitches.
I'm saying, like, if we got it, because Best Buy price matches Amazon,
they do.
you just take that shit back. Be like, hey, don't work. We got something else.
Yeah, fuck you, Best Buy.
It's not the right one.
We're helping you go out of business while helping our own needs.
Yeah, fuck them guys. Big box retailer bitches.
Anyway, should we go on with your
Tony's topic of the week.
Your Yappic of the week.
The Yappic?
Yappics.
The Yappic, if you will. So I had this idea, and I've been wanting to do it for a few weeks now, but I keep holding off because Microsoft keeps adding to the topic of the week. And that topic is, I initially had this idea once Microsoft reversed their first policy, when everybody famously gave them the nickname the Microsoft Xbox 180, right after they reversed their DMR or DRM? DRM stance and the used game policy. And then every time I wanted to bring it back up, Microsoft was adding to the 180-ish nature of their next Xbox. Now I think most of the dust has settled, and I'd like to do a PS4 versus Xbox One revisits with what we know now, because we did one of these shortly after E3, but an awful lot has changed. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'd like to go over
Excuse me.
all the different things that Xbox and PlayStation doesn't have nearly as many as Xbox does, but all the different things, take them into account and kind of duke it out and see who's winning now. A few months out from E3 and a few more months to go before these things actually go on sale, but a lot has changed. So
If we go with mixing board, microphone setup, that's the mics that I would prefer.
Sure.
I wonder if they'd give us a deal, because they're from Niles.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, Niles is a suburb outside of Chicago, which I live in, and a very famous microphone manufacturer,
Extremely famous, yeah.
is headquartered out of like 3 blocks from where I live. So
You walk in there and demands microphones.
big bitches, we all from Niles.
Cock slap the receptionist.
Give me some shit.
These bitches are $37 a piece with free shipping.
Oh,
And
yeah.
look at the ratings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Can do that thing.
All right, let's kick this bitch off.
I like kicking bitches off.
How about we start with the first major announcement? Well, I'll try to go in chronological order, but I may have a couple of these out of order because I don't remember.
Yeah.
But hell, it doesn't matter. Let's kick it off with the fact that the Xbox One will now play used games. Because this was a big sticking point for Microsoft right out of the gate. Sony famously came out with that response video, which was just
10-second
hysterical.
video or whatever. And
Here's how you share PS4 game. That shit was awesome. So what do you guys think about that?
I think that was out of anything they've done so far, that was the most needed flip-flop, because that was the thing that instantly set PlayStation as #1 for next gen right off the bat. And that's initial thoughts there.
Yeah. I mean, the whole situation is really interesting. We're going to break it down, obviously, throughout the course of the show, but to me, it was very, very clear that PS4 had a ridiculous lead coming out.
Metric buttload.
Yeah, coming out of E3. You could just see in the different reactions of the conferences, the post reactions of commenters and pretty much every video game website,
TonyChow.com.
TonyChow.com, all the backlash that Microsoft's received, like the pure hatred for the company that's come out in the recent months, and they made a lot of changes, and it's a different ballgame now when you hold the PS4 that we're probably going to get with, who knows, Microsoft may announce something more tomorrow that they're reversing, but as it sits, they're looking a lot more similar. So. With the used game debate, I know I've said this on the air many times. This doesn't affect me personally. I do buy new games all the time. I like supporting the developers the best that I can. But that being said, there's nothing wrong with buying used games. I'm not against it. I don't hate people that do it. I don't care if you want to do it. It's just a personal choice that I've made to try to give as much money directly to developers as I can. Because we hear about these studios closing every couple weeks, and I don't want there to be no game manufacturers left because everybody's only buying used. But if you want to do that, that's cool. I understand it. I was young too once. You don't have money when you're younger. When you're 13, 14, you don't have a job.
Parents buying you.
You have to really rely on presents, and you have to rely on trade-ins of your old stuff to go toward new products. There's nothing wrong with that. Companies have made entire business models out of that very...
GameStop.
Yeah. Even Best Buy's starting to mooch off it now. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's A-okay with me. That's cool if you could buy pre-owned games. It's just it didn't ever affect me personally that much. I didn't really care. But I understood where everybody was coming from, and I felt bad for the gamers out there that were going to get screwed by this.
Yeah.
But now it sounds like everybody's in the clear.
Sounds like a train.
It sounds like everybody's in the clear, and there's a train celebrating the fact that everybody's now in the clear.
Yeah.
There's a girl flashing over there.
Ooh.
Celebratory. You don't care?
No.
No use game thoughts.
You know what? I know we've gone over it before, but I'll bring up my point again. It's nice that they reversed their stance this generation, but whether it's the next one or the one after, used games one way or another in physical form are going the way of the dodo.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to keep it short, and I don't want to get into a big rant about it again, but that's where I stand on it.
Yeah, you guys all remember Blockbuster Video. That's what's going to happen to the used game market. It really is, because everything went digital, and people do fight it kicking and screaming, but when you look at it now, it's better. You got stuff like Netflix and shit, and it doesn't necessarily mean everything's going to be more expensive, because you got to keep in mind that $60 is the sweet spot that these manufacturers, publishers, developers have found to be profitable, where they have enough money to cover the cost of the discs, printing, shipping, because there's a lot into it that you don't think about. You just go to your Best Buy or your GameStop and you're like, here's $60, give me the game. But a lot of stuff makes that $60 price rise, like the truck driver who's got to ship that stuff from the factory to the store.
The cellophane.
The cellophane. The guy who has to come in at 4:00 in the morning at Best Buy to take in the trucks, the loader, the guy who's quality checking, the guy who's manufacturing, printing, the sticker developer,
the guy who makes the barcode on the back of the case.
The person who gets paid, the art student, I don't know what they're called, that makes the box art.
Marketing.
All that shit. Marketing. Yeah, all that stuff. So, and that's on top of Best Buy making a penny, or the actual developers and publishers making a penny. If you get rid of all that stuff, you can still have the same bottom line for the publisher and developers, and offer games for $40 digitally, because that $20 wasn't going to them anyway. It was going to cover all the trucking and shipping and manufacturing, especially when stuff comes over from overseas to the States, or from us from the States to, Europe or whatever. That stuff had to get flown over or shipped over. It adds a lot of costs. When something's digital off a server and it just takes bandwidth up, they can drop these prices. And that's why Steam is allowed to give away games for so cheap as well. Because the only people that need a cut are the publishers, developers, and Steam. And it'll be the same thing if they do go all digital. So it's not all scary and bad to think of an all digital future. You don't have to think that you're still paying $60 and you're not going to have your game on your shelf. There are going to be certain things missing, but games could be a lot cheaper, and they could be then fighting for your dime, because they can continue undercutting themselves. Because if it's just the publisher and developer, when they want to go on sale, they can give these things away for $10. Mm-hmm.
I also think that if one of the biggest additions that would help this cause out a lot is the ability to trade in your digital game,
which I'm sure someone will find a way to do.
And I think that's a huge cause that why people don't want full digital, because they buy $60 crap. You're stuck with it basically, and if you add in something where you get money back towards it, that varies somewhat, like how GameStop does it, I guess. They'll add a lot of value to it.
Yeah. The other scary thing that I know, this is the scariest thing for me, is the server shutdowns. I'm a big retro gaming fan. I like to go play my Atari 2600 on occasion, or pop in the old NES. Those were 6 generations ago? In 6 more, if they went all digital with this one, in 6 more generations, would I be able to go play any of my Xbox One stuff, or are they going to shut it off? Because then it doesn't turn into ownership. Well, now it turns into a renting of the product for 10 years until they decide to shut the servers down.
I thought about that, because Brian brought up a great point about that. And the more that I thought about it, the more I kind of fleshed out my thought for it was, okay, let's take Call of Duty, for example. Mm-hmm. And 10 years from now, Call of Duty server is going to shut off. Okay? Technically, yeah, you're losing a portion of the game, but that single-player campaign could live on. Or they could do private-side servers. I mean, because it takes nothing to either, A, you've downloaded the game physically onto your hard drive, where you can boot up the single-player like you do with a computer. Mm-hmm. Or, I mean, it would take literally no manpower and barely any space to have
community run.
Or a server built that runs, all right, we've got these games that are now considered outdated. we're going to transfer them all onto here for people that still want to play them. And like I said, as far as hosting games goes, Steam and Valve have been doing it for years with Counter-Strike and things like that. You know, you just start a match and hope that people join. If nobody's there, then guess what? Nobody's there. Even if the server was still on, nobody would be there.
Yeah.
So that is an option.
Yeah, I know it's happening with MAG right now. They're trying to get Sony with SOCOM and MAG. They're trying to get Sony to release just like what Jason was saying. I don't understand all that crap, but basically release the servers to the people and let the people run it who want to continue playing. SOCOM at least still has a single player portion, but MAG is essentially a coaster. The game was online only, so it kind of turns into what Jason was going through when
Why you got to go there, man? That's twice in one day.
Thingy stopped. I'm not super sad about it. I've poured hundreds and hundreds of hours into that game, and it was a good time, and it's sad to see it go. But the fact of the matter is, I know the death is coming in 4 months, and I still haven't popped that game in. I've played the shit out of it. I don't care. You know, it sucks, and I like the option to be going back and playing that game at some point in the like the comfort.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's why they have left behind backwards compatibility a lot of the time, is because it doesn't actually get used as much as you might think.
Backwards compatibility is only relevant for 6 months.
Yeah,
because people are basically playing their old shit on the new one. Then so many games start trickling on for the new system.
And it doesn't matter for your old ones because there's new and better.
Mm-hmm. I think
I
think I'm going to be there when they shut the MAG servers down, though. That'll probably be the next and last time that I play that game. I've never been a part of a community that got shut down.
You'll cry.
Huh?
You'll cry.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
I've never seen that kind of stuff happen. What is that?
It's a chick cosplaying. I have no idea from what, but wow.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, porn.
I'm looking at cosplay.
That ain't gonna come through.
And,
you know what? They can zoom in.
And yeah, I've never, because I wasn't a part of the game you were playing,
City of Heroes.
City of Heroes. There it is. I haven't. But which one did you watch?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. I was there for.
Galaxies.
I've never been a part of any of that stuff because I've mainly been a console gamer, and online has only become a thing
Recently.
this generation. So I've never been emotionally attached to a game that went off the air. This will be my first experience with it.
I'll be there when WoW goes off air. Guarantee it.
Because Zipper's gone, so I wonder if anything cool is even going to happen. Like I know in City of Heroes they had the sun coming down for the last time.
Well, there was that, but with City of Heroes, I'll make it really quick. They released all the devs and kept one guy to keep everything running. So none of the developers were there, but what the guy Andy did is he flipped the switch and gave devs access to all their character, because each dev represented a character in the game, so they were actually as those characters. And then, even though they hadn't set up any special event like they did with Star Wars, he started dropping some of the biggest bosses and stuff in the game right into the middle of the meeting area where everyone was. So that was cool.
Yeah.
So you might see something
I'm
like
curious.
that.
I'm curious if they'll do something like that. If they'll like, I don't know what they could do. That game's already so insane. I mean, MAG is massive action game. That's what
you could have something like
there's already almost 300 people on a map.
Though
it's nuts.
Even though Zipper shut down, they could do something like if some of the devs wanted to join in, they could give them like god powers, and you'd just see them running around blowing shit up, and like that's when like games break and it's really cool. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, look, this guy's got an assault rifle that shoots rockets, shit like that.
Yeah.
So, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, anytime you try to join a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that.
But on MAG.
But on MAG, of course, not people hacking.
Or like that weird shit that was going on with Gears of War 2.
Or if they did
Wretches have torque bows. That was weird.
Yeah, or if they did like a
That
low,
was awesome.
like a low gravity one
so
where
much
you
that
can
they
jump
did.
and stuff like that would actually be kind of cool.
They basically turned debug mode on and just let shit go crazy because
Yeah.
it doesn't matter at that point.
Yeah.
That might be interesting. I'll probably be there for the last. I don't think it'd be the last day. I think I'll probably be there like the last week. I'll be popping it in and out. And when it's about to shut down, I'll be there.
You might show up the last day.
No, I'll be there
No.
the last day. I'm saying
Beforehand. Yeah, it's really hard to go back to a game when you know that it's going to close, like that. Like you want to go back and experience a little bit more, but on the same
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's also, I look at it like, hey, I've been without it for a year. I haven't played that fucking game, and I've been fine. And it's just going to drum up memories, making me wish it wasn't.
One single Tony Chow tear.
Tony Chow.
And then because his manliness will take over, he'll suck it right back up.
Yeah, this is true.
Just creepy.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
True story, I watched him stub his toe one day.
Watch him fall off the chair.
Okay, next thingy. Xbox is now DRM free. Or DMR.
No, DRM.
DRM free.
He acts like he knows this because he does.
I always switch them around.
Yeah, it's fine. We get the point.
It's because the Halo gun fucks me up.
Yeah. DMR. I think it was a good gun. Anyway, cool. I don't know. Like it's not very relevant for many people.
I was gonna say it's relevant at all for
It's
console gaming.
for traveling people, which I can understand. That's great for them. I do have it happen quite often actually, where people buying consoles, they are shipping them overseas, and I'm like, well, you can't get an Xbox, so I mean that at least eliminates that.
This thing I'm pretty for. I hate the checkpoints that you have to go through, because I always felt, this is why I hate online passes so much, because I bought the game legitimately for the full retail price of $60. I didn't even wait for it to go on sale. And I had to get penalized with an extra step. Penal, I know. With an extra step just to access the game. You know, it's something meant to block
Penis lies.
used game sales and piracy. But the only people it affected were the people who legitimately bought the game. You're penalizing the wrong people. And I always hated this shit. And I'm glad this is no longer part of the console. I know it's not that big of a deal, and it was supposed to do it without you even knowing it was doing it, which was a step in the right direction, to be sure. But my God, am I glad this is no longer a thing. I hope this never becomes a thing.
Blame Ubisoft. Blame Ubisoft. As far as I know, they're the first ones who did it. So
Isn't this a PC thing?
started off on PC. Well, see, actually, it started off as with Assassin. Well, first game was Silent Hunter 5 with Ubisoft. Next one was Assassin's Creed 2, I believe.
Yes.
And then it kind of went on from there.
Yeah.
Only people in Europe care about Silent Hunter, and me every once in a while when I care.
Well, what was the root of the problem with all that Diablo business?
Diablo. Well, their system, I'm pretty sure, I'm trying to remember back, so it might not be completely accurate, but
that had to do with this, because if their servers if they didn't force
that's like, yeah, their
you to
servers
check
are kinda
in,
like,
you could have still played offline.
yeah. I mean, their servers kind of got overloaded, and they weren't able to actually, check everybody's game every time because there was millions logging on, I guess, or somewhere else.
And it happened with The Sims then, later on. The same issue.
That just shouldn't be an issue.
Because they force you to connect online.
Yeah.
It's a terrible thing. That's what I'm saying. There should always be an offline mode. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. In when the Xbox 5 is out, whatever the fuck they're going to call it, 2 generations from now, and they start shutting down all these servers, is it going to give me problems to play because the DRM can't find the server because the server's no longer there, and I just want to play single player and I fucking can't?
Like I said, there was that very small quote from Major Nelson regarding that. Somebody asked him, and he goes, that would be stupid on our behalf. Literally, as we've seen, it's a switch on their side that they can, and everything's okay.
And luckily they did it 10 years earlier than they were planning.
But either way, it was going to be a non-issue in the future anyways. So, anyway.
Yeah!
I said anyways, like he says literally.
Literally.
Yeah, like I say, penis.
Literally. You
Penis.
say penis. Actually, all the time. Penis.
Apparently, Microsoft
Literally.
has heard, literally, they've heard that you fine folks out there would enjoy an included headset.
Yes.
How do we feel about this?
I'm glad because I was at the store just a couple weeks ago trying to pre-order one of them fuckers and they weren't for pre-order. Remember?
The Turtle Beach ones?
No.
No,
I was
Just
those
the
ones are
regular
just-
$20.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I have the
Plain
fancy...
charge kit, same thing that's not in our games.
I have the fancy Gears of War headset. I don't fucking use that,
No.
to be honest. Half the time, I'm not playing with somebody, and it's a pain in the ass to go and plug all the wires together and shit like that. Regardless of how shitty the standard headset is, I find myself using that more often than not.
I'll take as much shit as they want to pack in that $500 box as they want. It's good to have a backup.
He'll take 2 connects.
I'm going to... No, I really won't. I'm going to wait for Turtle Beach to develop that converter kit because I have a decent set of headsets and I don't want to buy another $70 headset for the Xbox One.
His headset sounds like shit.
And
all the time. He's like, oh!
I do that on purpose. It's crystal clear. I do that on purpose.
And then you hear,
His headset's terrible. Just honestly, I can't play with you.
no.
It's true.
And then you hear his background noise because he's got his fucking TV cranked up and his soundbar on. And Tony, turn your shit down. No, Tony's not there. He walked away.
Then my dogs start fighting in the
Then you can
background.
hear his controller vibrate on the table.
That's pretty good.
And he comes back and he's chewing gum or eating or some shit.
What's up, guys? What'd I miss?
Doesn't tell you when he's going to the fucking bathroom.
I don't.
Just
I don't
sitting there?
usually. I just fucking
Hear
go.
it.
But for me, if it takes 3 or 6 months for Turtle Beach to develop that converter, it's nice to know that I don't have to buy a cheap, shitty headset to get me by in the meantime. And it's also good to have a backup. Like, if the Turtle Beaches really do break, you're going to want to go get another set of Turtle Beaches if you get addicted to them like I have. But it's nice to let you know in the middle of that gaming session, you can just plug something else in and you have a backup ready to go.
And the new redesigned stock headset, as we'll call it, it is kind of neat looking.
I initially thought the first 360 headset was cool looking too, though. That was eight years ago of style, though.
Yeah.
Shit-
But like this one's nice.
Shit has
and,
changed.
Nice and smooth.
That weird connector looks awful, though.
Yeah.
That is gonna. It just looks like it's gonna get in your fucking way.
I don't know, because if you look at the controller, the
Talking about like
hand
the
grips?
half puck thingy, or they
Yeah.
keeping with that?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the original
hand
puck
grips,
didn't really.
instead of like this, if you look at it, they kick out a little bit more like this now. So it might not.
More like a batarang.
Jason,
I
you're
didn't
right at
say
home.
it. I didn't fucking say it.
Yep. That's it. Cool.
Season price guarantee.
Pass guarantee. It's a price.
Season pass guarantee.
That was really cool when I heard about that.
Someone want to explain it?
Basically, the only 2 games they confirmed it will work with is Battlefield and Call of Duty. But basically,
Moral jump on. This just got.
Yeah, I
announced.
assume that like Assassin's Creed, anything else that has a season pass will go. And if you buy it in 360 and say the first map or first DLC comes out, and then you get the Xbox One version, you can go back in your download list and re-get the content you bought already, and then keep getting the actual season pass on top of that.
So you only have to buy a season pass once, and you can split it between 2 consoles.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever use it.
This shit is starting to scare me. Actually, I'll save this for after the next topic because 2 things have popped up recently that are worrying me about the release dates of these consoles. But for me, I guess the season pass idea is interesting. They only have to do these for like 6 months. It's going to be these floater
The
games.
transitional phase.
Yeah, the
There's
transition
gonna be
period.
like three games probably confirmed. I'm assuming Assassin's Creed will do it, and I'm trying to think what
Probably
other
another
game
2 or
has
3
season
games will
pass.
have it, and that'll be
Yeah.
about the extent of it.
Because I don't think there's very many games coming out this holiday that will have
I'm sure
many.
Watch Dogs will have one.
They also have to be a game that's
Probably.
going to be available on both generations, which surprisingly isn't that many.
No. Watch Dogs?
There's a lot of games that are still coming out that are just coming out on the PS3 or 360, or that are just coming out like WWE, Gran
Batman.
Turismo 6, Batman. Yeah, there's
NHL,
yeah.
GTA.
Saints Row, Splinter Cell, GTA, Beyond
Saints Row?
Controls. Yeah, so Saints Row.
That's what we just named 10 off the top of our heads. Big titles that aren't
Ratchet
coming
and Clank,
into Nexus. Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 1.5.
It's a lot of games. It's a lot of games that are coming out mere weeks before the next generation console launches, and you have to still get them on the old console if you want to play those games. So,
let them pour themselves out more. Put it on both.
I guess I'll just tie in this other one too because they're so closely related.
Go forward.
GameStop, this is for Xbox only so far, is launching the trade-in guarantee. So far, there's only 5 eligible games, but basically, what this is you can buy Madden or Call of Duty or Battlefield on your 360.
I think it's FIFA as well.
Yeah, there's 5 games.
Yeah,
I only listed 3.
I forget what the other one is, though.
Assassins?
Filthy Horror.
Assassins?
Is it Assassins?
Anyways.
Yeah.
There's 5 games.
Try to name them all.
I don't know off the top of my head. Basically, you can buy them on launch day because, like, even Madden's launching in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, that one's coming.
Not this week, August
Madden's
27th. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Make a conference. Yeah.
Yep.
so the point is, you can buy Madden without worry about the approaching next generation. GameStop is going to give you $50 of trade-in credit to use toward that same game to upgrade. So with Madden 25, for example, you can buy it worry-free on Xbox. Say the Xbox One doesn't come out till late November, okay? You can buy it in August, play it for 2 full months, bring it to GameStop, and it's only going to cost you $10 for those 2 months, and then you to basically
start your season all over.
Yeah.
And you can upgrade straight to the Xbox One shit.
And then you return the Xbox One version unopened, and you get your $60 back.
And screw
Boom.
GameStop.
Boom.
Free games.
Free games.
Free games.
I'm gonna be a terrible GameStop customer when I quit.
Oh, I'm fucking horrible. You can ask this guy.
No, I know all the ways around everything
know.
at this point. So
You can ask. I'm always trying to fucking steal a buck.
yep,
Mhm.
yep.
It's true. So this brings me into what I was trying to get at earlier, and I decided I want to hold off because now with the season pass guarantee and this trade-in guarantee, I'm starting to get scared that these consoles aren't going to release as quickly as I thought they were going to, because initially I thought there was no way that these companies were going to be dumb enough to miss Battlefield and Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed and all this shit on the next generation. There's just no way. You don't even want to release 1 week after Call of Duty because a lot of guys just don't care. They'll buy it on 360 and they'll be like, well, we'll just get the Xbox One and the new Call of Duty next year on next gen when it's all available all together. For this year, whatever, I'm not waiting that week. I guess I'm playing 360.
I get prestige!
I guess I'm playing
There you
360 one more week or 1 more year. You know what I mean? So I thought there was no way that Sony and Microsoft would possibly even dream of missing Call of Duty date, but even before that, a week or two is Battlefield. So you might as well bump it up a week or two.
Yeah.
With all these growing workarounds that are starting to develop, I'm starting to think GameStop knows shit that we don't, release date wise, because they're
Definitely
ready.
do.
They're already coming up with protection plans for themselves. These things are made to help people, to talk people into it. I'll let you know a little secret. Call of Duty is at one of its lowest pre-orders of all time right now. I don't think that's because people are getting sick of Call of Duty. Damn. I think it's because people are waiting to hear when the PS4 and the Xbox One are coming out. And if they're not out in time, then people know that they can just get on the 360 or the PS3. But people are holding off. Same thing with Battlefield. They don't know which console to pre-order for, so they're just not pre-ordering.
Yeah, because I mean, right now there's 4 options.
Yeah.
Literally.
So people are just waiting. And
Apparently.
I think that if they didn't have anything to hide, like, because GameStop's suffering because of this, and so they're coming up with ways to talk people into it. Like, hey, don't worry, order it for 360. In the event the Xbox One's not out yet, we have this trade-in guarantee.
This contingency plan.
Don't worry about it. We got your back. We got you covered. And I know that's what we're going to have to start pushing soon, because this thing just got announced.
You're going to have to start pushing soon.
Because you're getting out.
Tony likes to push it.
You're getting out of the evil empire.
Push it real good.
Push it real good.
We just showed our age, just so you know.
Salt and pepper, dude.
Who?
Yeah.
YouTube.
Red Hot Chili Peppers? Got it.
YouTube it. Same thing with the season pass guarantee. Why would they be guaranteeing this shit for Assassin's Creed 4, which is October 29th, if
The
the
busy
new
week.
console wasn't out yet by
So,
October 29th.
That's a really busy day,
So-
the 29th.
Yep, WWE 2K14.
If you look,
Batman the Friday
like
before.
I have a new.
Fuck, that's 2 in one day.
No, that's the week before. It's on the 25th.
okay.
But there's Battlefield and Assassin's Creed that day.
I
And
hope
WWE.
I hope they're both October, but if you look in the GameStop computer date-wise,
No.
there is a nothing coming out the week after Call of Duty. There's literally no game scheduled for that week.
It took, even last year though, it took a long time for somebody to fill up that the November slots past Call of Duty. Because Hitman
No,
was the one that did
every
that.
other week is filled through December.
And if
There's
you remember-
1 week on the computer that has no games coming out.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that's the date
The week
they're both
after Call of
coming
Duty.
out.
And I'm because I
I hope I'm
remember-
wrong. I want these things in October.
Yeah, me too.
I remember the last Call of Duty release that I did. We had Call of Duty on Tuesday, and then Friday we had Skyrim on the same week. Remember that?
Mhm.
Fucking sucked. Hated that.
That was a big week.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You worked twice that week.
See, I'm just saying that is. I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying, but literally, this happened last year. I'm gonna say literally.
Literally?
Literally.
This happened last year, where
Anyways.
the week after Call of Duty remained vacant until literally,
Just pepper it in as much as possible at this point.
literally, I think it was like 2 months. Well, it was probably about 2 months before Hitman actually came out. They put Hitman, I think, the week after Call of Duty. I may not be right on that. But that spot just stays vacant for a while because no one wants to come out then.
Well, like I said, I remember when, they did release other big games right after Call of Duty.
Hitman did very well. 2 million copies, I think.
Skyrim. Days after.
Yeah, 11/11.
Days after.
I don't think Call of Duty's the end all be all if you're a good game. You don't want to come out the same day as Call of Duty.
Cabela's used to do it.
And if you're why?
Yeah, they did.
Cabela's used to always come out there,
Yep.
and the employees used to go to local GameStops and be like, "What the hell is this Call of Duty?" And they make a scene and be like, "We're for Cabela's." And it was,
Really?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, you can look it up. They do it every year.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then I don't know, like unless you're a military shooter, I don't think it's going to affect you that much. Like for me, just as an example off the top of my head, Ratchet and Clank. They can release that with Call of Duty. If you're a Ratchet and Clank fan that wants that game, Call of Duty's not going to keep you from buying that. If you're Battlefield 4,
Keep you going for the midnight.
it very well may.
Keep you going for the midnight, though.
Yeah, it might.
I wanna go with the midnight
Might
for
keep
Ratchet
you away
and
from the
Clank.
midnight for
Yeah, it
Ratchet
came
and
out Call
Clank.
of Duty
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah. No, I still don't think you should launch on Call of Duty Day, but there's a lot of developers and stuff that try to stay a full month away from Call of Duty Day because it's so detrimental.
Mhm.
It's so big. And I just don't know if it has. I get it if it's a shooter, you gotta stay away from Call of Duty, but like some other games, like
Skyrim did very well.
because people wanted Skyrim. Call of Duty's gonna have no effect on whether or not you want Skyrim.
Exactly.
You
That's-
can
and that's-
get both
and
games.
That's a great point that you're trying to make.
Yeah. I just don't know how to talk.
They could release WWE the same day as Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go get WWE.
If you're a wrestling fan,
I think the only arguing point to that would be is if you're a budget gamer and you can't afford to get both games that you would
It's the
want.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and everybody's going to talk into COD. That makes sense.
Yeah, because I mean that's the hot shit, You're like, oh well, I'll wait on this for a couple weeks and get Call of Duty, and then you're involved in Call of Duty. That would be the only.
You never end up going back. 'Cause,
Exactly. We've all been there for that.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I forgot I had that pre-order 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh snap! Cancel.
Yep.
They don't count anymore.
Oh look, it's $20 now.
They don't count anymore. This is a
know.
good thing.
What?
If it's over like 1 month old, it doesn't count against you. That cancel. It'll come up in the performance file, but like that morning email that comes in, it's not on that.
Nice.
Yeah. So if anything's over a month,
Good thing I don't care about my numbers.
Me neither. I was at -4
He
on
doesn't
Wednesday.
care about his numbers because he knows practically every fucking week that he works that I come in. I take
You
care of
or
shit.
Brian, and you guys pretty much.
Yeah, we take care of you for the week.
Yeah. It really doesn't matter anymore. It's just as long as you don't slump for a month now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's 4 shifts for you. So.
Yeah. Yeah. It works out well because I don't have to do anything for 3 shifts because I don't do that many transactions. It's the middle of the summer in a fucking mall. And then you guys come in 1 week and pre-order 10 games. It, like, pushes my numbers up for the month like nuts, dude.
Yeah, if I did that.
Huh?
The day they opened up Call of Duty Reserve, that was an amazing day.
Makes up for, like, 2 weeks of badness.
Makes up, like, the whole month. So you end up with, like, over 100% reserve on, like, 85 transactions.
Last point from Microsoft. And this is the big boy.
Big boy.
You no longer need to have the Kinect. Woo!
What's this table made of?
Flip it. Flip it anyway. Flip the pit.
You flip my table, I'm gonna kick your ass. Just say it.
It's made out of, like, titanium.
It's so heavy!
Okay, you don't need it. They're still making you buy it. Yow!
At this point, yes. Sadly.
Gamescom. Another quote from Major Nelson said that even though the system doesn't require it, they're not going to release a cheaper budget for the system anytime soon.
Cause fuck you.
Anytime soon.
He can wait.
I can wait.
No, you can't.
I'm going to have the PS4 in all of its glory and goodness.
Like a year or two?
I'm thinking it's going to be more like 6 months, and I'm going to be really pissed.
Flip the table again. Titanium.
This table probably weighs 20 pounds.
I don't even think it's that much.
This is nothing but good news.
Sucks.
Look what you did.
It sucks that you still have to buy the Kinect. But, right? That's what I'm saying, Sammy. Tell him, fuck the Kinect. Yes!
Tell him to suck it.
That's doggy for fuck the Kinect.
And walks away.
Gonna go take a shit on the freaking kitchen floor.
No, he's not. If he does, I'm gonna wipe it on you. Just because you said
Oh, now I hope he shits on the kitchen
Oh,
floor.
damn it, I'm going out that window.
With the chick with her top off.
Yeah, she's still there. It's kind of
That's
creepy.
the one that doesn't have the screen on it. So you know.
Well, God, you're not gonna have a screen on any of them after today, so.
Mark just drops kicks out of a fucking... What are we on the 3rd floor?
Hit their floor. Yeah,
Well,
it's
like
only
I said,
one floor drop.
There's that roof over
so.
there. He could make it to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something.
Them shit's far.
Yeah, it's right there. You gotta Nate Drake that shit. You just gotta do a roll.
Do a barrel
Good.
roll.
That's right.
Jason throwing shit out the window.
Final thoughts.
Well, wait.
Oh.
There's one other thing. That
Oh
they
shit!
have-
There's Sony. I didn't even do Sony yet. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Well, also with Microsoft before, I know it's completely insignificant and it's something stupid, but this past week they revealed Killer Instinct, as we already know, is going to be free to play. With
So I'm not gonna play it.
people who have day one systems like you and I, we get a free special edition character.
Not
A
gonna
lot
play
of games are actually going to do that as
Yeah.
well. They're going to have, if you have the day one edition in the console,
Yeah.
then you do
I have
get,
to upgrade my Forza 5 pre-order now.
It's $20.
Hmm?
$20 more.
I know. And
Well,
you're gonna get VIP status, which is awesome in the Forza universe, and you're gonna get 10 extra cars or 12 extra cars for 20
Something like
bucks.
that, Yeah.
That's awesome because their map packs usually give you 3 cars for $5 or whatever.
Damn, should I didn't know about a Forza Collectors. I didn't
It just
see
got
that.
announced.
It just got
this week.
announced. I'm gonna go in and switch
Because
it.
I have Forza pre-ordered, but now it's like, do I want Forza or do I want my Batman Collector? I'm leaning towards Batman Collector because you know how awesome that
Right.
Joker statue would be right here, just all lit up and
Right
shit.
now, by the way, where's
It's a cool
Marcus?
statue.
Marcus isn't here today.
Mark's went home.
No,
Special guest for 1 week. Are the Smurfs here? The
No.
Smurfs aren't even here.
no.
We weren't supposed to tell anybody what they were.
Yeah. We were waiting to see if anybody said anything.
No. Tell everyone.
I was kidding. Everything I've said the last 20 seconds
I can cut it though.
has been a lie, much like the cake.
Much like the cake.
All right.
You know, it'd be funny if you found a way to just put that box over my voice and bleep out what I said for 10 seconds, and then everybody will not know what we're like. What did he say? What did they have to bleep out?
I might be able to.
Did he make fun of someone's mom? And they'll never know the truth.
Come back in me crying.
Just zoom in on Mark in tears. All right, Sony only had 2 things that have really changed since E3. One's a really, really strong rumor. It's not even factual at this point, but it's pretty much happening. PlayStation TV is a thing. Sony's locked the deal with Viacom up. Viacom's MTV, Nickelodeon.
A
bunch of shit that I stopped watching years ago. But yeah.
It's basically cool kids.
And they're going to have some television stations on the PS4 and the PS3, I think. It's supposed to come to both.
Yeah, I believe so.
So that helps push stuff in the PlayStation camp. You know, that's another bragging right, if that's your thing. And starting tonight, PlayStation's doing pay-per-views.
Yeah, live events. The first one is
SummerSlam. Right?
SummerSlam. WWE SummerSlam. Yeah.
So that's another thing. You can get live pay-per-view events from your PlayStation.
Which
that's already
Xbox
Do you have to
did
have any-
6 months ago.
Do you have to have any kind
I
of
know that.
Yeah.
actual television?
No.
Okay.
No. If I can.
Antenna's actually getting pretty popular.
The only one that I can really speak about it is WWE. But you have your traditional pay-per-view, but then they started streaming on the website. Now you can stream to their mobile app, your tablet, Xbox, and now today was the release of the PlayStation one.
Okay.
And apparently they're going to do something with Google Glass. I don't know if I'd sit and
Google
watch a 3-hour wrestling pay-per-view in
Ban
my
my
eyeball.
Pornhub app.
Now that I'd be all over. Look at you. I didn't say a damn thing about Pornhub at all this week.
Whatever.
You did.
Good
Pornhub.
website. Good
That looks
website.
so good.
Good website.
Does look pretty good.
We'll go get one of those.
That is a chubby wiener.
Dick pic.
He is on Pornhub, by the way.
Yes.
And
It's
he's
a
looking
nice
at,
dick pic.
he's looking at chubby wieners. Don't show that. We're going to get kicked off YouTube.
Fuck 'em.
All right. So I know we've been dancing around it because we've been naming the additional pluses for both the PlayStation and Xbox. Xbox has far more because they had such a poor presentation in the first place. So they had a lot more to make up for.
Mm-hmm.
But as we sit now, try to tie... Let's do... Should we do it all as one, or should we do what do we think now, cumulatively, and then a final thought? Or should we just have your final thought with what you think now included in it?
Let's do it all together.
Mark?
All together.
All together. Cumulatively, which one's looking better to you now? Who made strides which way? Is everything A-okay? What do you still want? Blah, blah, blah. Final thoughts.
I really think it's actually more of an even playing field because basically everything we read off are probably things that they were behind on.
It was in direct response to what the PS4 did.
Exactly. You know, headset, used games, DRM. The only real addition that they have on it right now is currently that season pass guarantee and the trade-in deal with it.
Those are only relevant for a couple of months.
Only relevant for 3 months, and basically those are to kind of get people out to actually buy stuff so they don't feel like they're getting screwed over.
I'm having a thought. Both of these, the trade-in and the season pass guarantee, are both steered toward Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Why hasn't Sony made one of those yet? Do we think Sony's coming out significantly before the Xbox One and they don't have a need for this stuff? Because maybe they are coming out mid-October. Well, Xbox is waiting for mid-November, and they have to have a way to compensate now.
And then basically that would be true because literally if they come out before... The two games that were revealed for that season pass guarantee was Battlefield and Call of Duty. So October 29th for Battlefield, they come out before that.
Or same day.
Or same day. You don't even need to worry about the season pass for it. And, a lot of this is going to come down to Tuesday. Tuesday, yeah. By
next week, we'll know an awful lot more because we'll admittedly have PlayStation's release date. I'm assuming Xbox's is coming, if not at Gamescom, very, very shortly thereafter because we're getting to the nitty-gritty here.
Getting that close.
We're mere months away.
I think for me,
We gotta do an unboxing video.
a lot of people, came out of the gate and just bashed Microsoft.
A lot.
And I got to give them nothing but credit for addressing all the issues and correcting them, and in some regards matching Sony with what they've presented.
Exactly, that's what I was saying too.
I agree with you that the Sony, as we already know, undercut Microsoft at their press conference. with the price. You know, they had different options. They were waiting to see what Microsoft was doing. That's common knowledge. I think the only way that they can undercut Microsoft again, because now Microsoft is, you know, caught back up, is, like you said, come out in October now.
Yeah.
You know, the consoles are in production. We already know that. They, you
Yep.
know, fucking Major Nelson's got an Xbox sitting in his house, so let's go rob him. Don't really do that.
You might want to beat that one out too.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting factors coming now because, like Jason was saying, I think it's great. You know, I don't think it's as good as Microsoft's spinning it. That we're listening to our fans, but they did hear you guys, and like I've been telling you, speak with your wallets, and they saw that they were getting out pre-ordered 4-1, and they had to change. Huh?
It's 4-1 at my store.
And they had to change something, and they changed it. So speaking with your wallets works. Like I tell you guys, if you're against online passes, don't buy EA games. You know what I mean? EA got the message too now. We do have a voice as gamers, and Microsoft heard us. I don't think all the negative press that they're still getting to this day is merited because they have reversed
Everything,
a lot of the
almost.
policies. And the good thing for Microsoft is not enough people are super tuned in like we are and like you guys are that listen to video game podcasts and are hitting refresh on the major video game sites all day, scanning, checking, seeing what's new. Most people aren't like that. You got to keep in mind there's 150 million PS3 plus, like more like 160 million PS3 and Xbox 360s out there.
No.
Out of that 160 million, I think 1 million of those people are as dedicated as we all are. Where they're sitting there,
Probably close
always
to.
on sites, doing all that. The other 159 million don't care.
Wasn't me.
Some of them may not even know that these consoles are coming out yet until they're in-store shelves, much like what the Wii U is going through right now. Like, we are all mad at Xbox for what they did. But if you look at the vast majority of people who will end up buying these consoles, they don't know that Xbox ever had a DRM policy. They don't know that they were this close to banning used games. They don't know all these things, and they never will. They're just going to go out and buy these consoles when they come out because they're like, oh, hey, the new Xbox out.
Yeah.
Cool, let's grab that.
Exactly.
So I don't think it's as big of a deal as we all make it, and I think that Microsoft had time to correct stuff, and they did. It's unfortunate that they didn't do this from the beginning. They lost a lot of points with a lot of people, but they did redeem themselves in certain aspects. I also agree that what you were saying, that the ball was totally in Sony's court. They were smashing the Xbox One. The Xbox One has completely leveled the playing field, with the exception of it being $100 more and forcing the Kinect on you. These things are extremely similar now in horsepower, in functionality, what they can do, so on and so forth, and with their limitations. Now I feel the ball has to go. Sony has to make a move. They can't price drop again. So there's got to be something to wow people, to get them back in the news. And Gamescom's their opportunity, and I hope they don't miss it. Because everything lately, since E3, has been Sony killed it, and now Microsoft is adjusting.
Has played catch up and has stayed almost relevant in the news because they got so much negative press out of E3 or previous to E3, and then started correcting all these issues. And on top of that, at Gamescom, Microsoft has said it's going to be all about the games. And kicking back to what we were talking about months ago, there's still some titles that they haven't announced yet that they may bring out.
Yeah. And now I feel it's back in Sony's court. They have to do something to get people talking about them again because that E3 high is wearing out. The people that wanted your console pre-ordered it. Great. Now how are you going to get the rest of the people that didn't pre-order your PS4 to get it? I don't know if another interesting way that they could smash Xbox again would be to offer a pack-in. It doesn't have to be a $60 game, but that wouldn't hurt. Or maybe you throw in
a year plus.
That's what I was just gonna say. Maybe you throw in a year of PlayStation Plus. That's a $50 value. And since you're forcing people to use PlayStation Plus anyway, it'd be a nice way to wean everybody onto it.
And you're getting...
And see the benefits
You're getting
of PlayStation
that
Plus.
shaved-down version of Drive Club, so technically you're getting a game for free, too.
Yeah.
Because it'll at least come with 30 days. I don't think they will do anything less than that.
But I'm just saying as a way to make the price look more enticing than it
you know
already
what I'm
is.
saying, because, no, like you were saying, it is kind of like a bundle impact, because they also have a game that, I don't even remember the name of it, but it was basically it's free no matter what, and I think it's supposed to be used with the iCamera. There is, like, technically 2 or 3 games you could probably day one go out and actually be able to play for free. I just don't think they've really gone out there and said that enough. Hopefully they do that a lot more at Gamescom.
Yeah. I think PlayStation Plus is actually an excellent idea, because then you get people hooked. I think PlayStation Plus is a hard sell until you have it. The second you see it, your eyes get open, correct? That's what happened with you. You were fighting and kicking and screaming. Now you saw it, and you're like, oh, this is pretty cool.
I guess the only negative aspect that I can bring up is even though I have it, and I have all these games, I still don't play them. Like, they're there. They're pretty to look at. Like, look at what I have. Look at this library.
You really don't play them? I don't play all the games. There's too many. They give you too many games.
When was the last time... Literally, if you look at my friends list on my PlayStation, the most 2 active people besides my cousins, and all they ever do is watch Netflix and play Battlefield, is you guys. When have we played anything in the past 3 months on PlayStation? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I play single player on PlayStation.
I do a lot of single-player gaming just in general.
yeah, but now I have, like, Battlefield, and I have, like, Saints Row, and I play those, but I won't play those by myself.
We could start some Saints Row. I'd play that again. That was an excellent fucking game, and it's co-op.
Yeah.
And it's a really good co-op game.
That's why someone should get 4.
I'm not doing it.
You should do it. Coming up 20th. You should just pre-order it.
Just fucking do it. Just fucking
get
do
it.
it.
Just
I
get
got
it.
enough
I
shit
just
to
want to play with
worry about.
But
It's going to be funny.
all in all, like I said, I think PlayStation needs to come up with something. They don't have to, but it wouldn't help. It wouldn't hurt at all to get people talking about Sony again. Maybe that rumored ridiculously cheap Vita pack-in, which I don't think is possibly feasible for Sony to do at this point. But if you're getting an Xbox One mandatory with a Kinect involved for $100 or for $500, and then Sony's is $400, but for $500 they'll throw in the Vita, and people are pretty much forced to get PlayStation Plus at this point. I don't know, that might be the thing to get Vitas in people's hands and finally get some development for it. And soon as you turn on your Vita, because you need the PlayStation Plus, you already have a catalog of 7 or 8 great games on the Vita without spending a penny extra. That could be Sony needs something. Maybe a free game. I don't know, like a pack-in, like
Give me
consoles
Knack for free.
like consoles used to do when they actually used to give you a starter game.
Give me Knack.
And a fucking extra controller.
Yeah. Second controller would be nice.
So, I mean, there's a lot of interesting concepts. Now these consoles are looking really, really similar, and it's not a bad thing. Maybe it's not pushing the whole industry forward like what Microsoft had planned with all this weird constant updating and weather-focused elements changing in games when you're playing Madden and all this crazy stuff.
It's terrible for Tiger Woods when you're in frickin' Florida. There's always a hurricane, 30-mile-an-hour winds.
But I don't really care about any of that stuff. This is literally the consoles that I wanted, minus the Kinect being forced on me. I just wanted some more powerful hardware. Basically, the PS3 and the 360 are perfect. They're what I always wanted. They're great. Just make them a little stronger where I get some prettier graphics. That's all. And now it seems like these are getting dumbed down enough to do exactly what I want. All that extra TV bullshit and all this motion gaming crap is fine for the people who want it, but the people like me who don't and will never utilize it, it's not their only focus. Microsoft was scary with all the TV talk. Then you started seeing the games at E3, and you're like, okay, this thing still is a games machine.
Yeah.
And we're back to where I always wanted the fucking thing to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I am very much on the side of exclusives is what's determining what I bought this generation. Nothing Xbox did originally that people were mad at, nothing they've done to fix it has changed my mind about it, because for me it's all about games, exactly like you said. I need Raise the Dead. Also need anything Naughty Dog puts out.
I need Dead Rising. That thing looks badass.
Dead Rising looks good.
I need Forza.
Yeah.
Like a high five on camera.
But I know the
Also,
good.
Fortnite should come out.
I'm not worried about it because I think Sunset Overdrive is going to be cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
And I know I'm looking very forward to Rise and Forza. And those are 3 launch window games.
Yeah.
Killer Instinct over here.
The games will keep coming for Xbox. I'm not worried about it. I don't have that scary thing like I did for Wii U where nothing looked like it was on the horizon, and sadly it became a reality. With wow, somebody just ripped some disgusting ass.
That was me.
Yeah.
Was that you?
That was me.
It was a good one.
I'm sorry.
It was a good
Sorry.
one. I just caught a waft of it and it totally distracted me. But I know for a fact on both consoles, either way, with Sony, there's only 2 or 3 launch titles that I'm super, super interested in as well. There's only about 3 games per launch window that I'm looking very, very forward to, and I want all of them. So I'm going to get them all. But I'm not worried because with Sony, none of the big studios have announced anything yet. This is just cool stuff from secondary studios. And the same thing with Microsoft. We don't know what Gears or Halo is going to look like.
Halo's going to do.
They still have unannounced exclusive titles.
About 5. Isn't that what we...
Completely unannounced that are still coming. One's supposed to come at Gamescom for free, or for sure. Microsoft confirmed that. So, I mean, who knows? These things might wind up with 5 to 10 must-have games per console within the first year. And that's plenty to keep me occupied until the more games start rolling out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's not counting third parties that are going to be available on both that are going to look excellent. So,
Yeah, Watch Dogs.
a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff coming out. So, well, good?
No, I'm good.
All right. This is my episode 80, part 2. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch us next week, same time, same place. 80.
80. 80. Wait, you made it!